It's been a big year for respiratory, and today we have a special executive report combining our analysis on trial activity and apps performance. We hope this is helpful. Let's go ahead and dive right in. In 2024, respiratory syndrome diseases, including COPD, asthma, respiratory syncytial virus or RSV, COVID-19 variants, and interstitial lung diseases or ILD continue to attract a significant share of clinical development investment. Spurred by post-pandemic attention and rising demand for combination respiratory therapeutics, the industry sponsored and estimated 420 total respiratory syndrome disease trials globally. This figure represents a 14% increase from 2023. Today, we will review the ratio of combination versus monotherapy clinical trials, the drivers behind the increasing use of combination regimens, and provide a projection of earnings per share or EPS contribution for 3 top late-stage candidates based on market trajectory, regulatory visibility, and competitive positioning. I'm going to start by looking at the split between monotherapy and combination trials. In 2024, there were an estimated 246 monotherapy trials and 176 combination therapy trials. This gives us a combo to mono ratio of 0.72 to 1. Importantly, combination trials grew by an estimated 19.4% year over year. Looking forward, we expect this trend to continue, driven by therapeutic need to address multiple disease pathways simultaneously, specifically triple combination inhaled therapies for COPD and asthma, anti-RSV vaccine plus monoclonal antibody combinations for both prophylaxis and treatment of active infection, reinforced development of antivirals with immunomodulators for long COVID and high-risk populations, as well as combination of antifibrotic with anti-inflammatory or kinase inhibitor for pulmonary fibrosis and other ILDs currently under phase 2 and 3 exploration. Next, I want to highlight our top 3 late-stage picks and their projected earnings per share contribution through 2026. Please note, these are not stock picks. Rather, we're evaluating clinical execution and commercial potential of each asset. First up, GSK's Arexvy, an RSV vaccine, which was initially approved in 2021 for adults aged 60 years and older. The company has since completed a number of successful phase 3 expansion trials, and in 2024 announced plans to expand into younger adults and immunocompromised populations. Arexvy is now poised for global regulatory submission in these new indications. From a market perspective, we project peak sales of $3 billion by 2027, and importantly, the company has already launched the brand and generated $434 million in sales through 2024. So what does this mean for earnings? We forecast a contribution of between plus 0.18 and 0.25 GBP per share through 2025 and 2026 respectively. Key to this EPS contribution is the successful execution of planned expansion trials, which will inform label updates and regulatory submissions in the next 12 to 18 months. We also model in a gradual uptake of Arexvy as part of a broader portfolio synergy with shingles and flu vaccines. Our second candidate of interest is Moderna's mRNA-1345, a personalized mRNA vaccine against RSV, which is designed to be administered to older adults and high-risk infants. The company completed a regulatory submission in March 2024 and filed a BLA in the second quarter. We are now awaiting feedback from the FDA and project a US launch in early 2025, followed by a European launch later that year. With regards to the size of the opportunity, we are modeling peak sales of $2 to $2.5 billion. And given the vaccine platform risk associated with mRNA, we believe that the company can offset some of the risk of its former COVID blockbuster, which faces generic competition. As such, we are forecasting an EPS contribution of 80 cents to $1 through 2025 and 2026. Key milestones to look out for include feedback from the FDA on the biologics license application as well as the initiation of planned pediatric studies in the second half of 2024. And lastly, AstraZeneca and Sanofi's Beyfortus, also known as nirsevimab, which is a monoclonal antibody for the prevention of RSV in infants. While the asset was granted a priority review in the US and received a positive CHMP opinion in the EU in 2023, follow-up trials are needed to confirm the real-world impact of the product in high-risk infants. As such, we are closely watching these studies, which are expected to read out in the coming months. Given the durability of seasonal demand and pediatric exclusivity protections, we expect peak sales of $1.5 to $1.8 billion. And importantly, the drug has already been launched in Europe with reimbursement in Germany and France. Therefore, we are forecasting an EPS contribution of 60 cents to 75 cents through 2025 and 2026. Overall, we see combination approaches to dominate respiratory development for 5 key reasons. Multiplex disease biology, where inflammation, infection, fibrosis, and mucus production drive many respiratory diseases and require simultaneous targeting. Resistance mitigation, especially in viral infections such as RSV and COVID-19, where monotarget antivirals can be vulnerable to the emergence of resistant strands. Patient preference, where fixed-dose combo inhalers and simplified regimens can improve adherence and reduce dropout in chronic airway diseases. Life cycle leverage, where combination therapy can expand the life cycle potential of legacy products by adding a new class to an existing LABA or ICS, for example. And finally, franchise evolution, where companies like GSK, AZ, Sanofi, and Moderna are evolving into fully integrated respiratory franchises offering prevention and treatment across all ages and seasons. In conclusion, the success of respiratory syndrome disease trials in 2024 marks a clear turning point towards multi-agent therapeutic strategies. While monotherapies remain relevant, the franchise-building power of combination therapy, especially in complex chronic or viral-driven diseases, drives both clinical impact and EPS performance. As such, investors and developers should closely watch companies that are evolving their pipelines on combination platforms, especially in vaccinology, mRNA, and long-acting biologics. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this report helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe.